Join us on this beautiful day to help celebrate the amazing people, groups, and businesses that make our community such a rich and special place to live and work. As you meet our honorees and winners today, we hope you will feel the pride and gratitude that we at the Volunteer Center feel every day as we work with our thousands of local volunteers. We're going to encourage you to please enjoy your lunch. We will start our program with a brief premiere of a visual piece by Christine Loy from the Volunteer Center and Drew Crocker from Community TV. This will mark the launch of our Volunteer Center storyboard that will be on our website. We hope to create a place for the inspirational stories like those you'll hear today to be available to inspire us all year long. After lunch, our board president and our most extraordinary volunteer leader, Susan Cabrera, will begin the program. So please enjoy the premiere of our volunteer storyboard and enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes to start the program.
It's kind of an experience to just get out there and try something different. It's also a great way to see if you're interested in something. I already knew I was interested in reading.
When people are doing what they're passionate about, they come up with really great ways to make a difference. Being the director of the Volunteer Center is more like being a conductor and letting all the instruments play. Even after all these years, it's still surprising to me how creative people get. You name it, and there's a volunteer out there doing it.
I really, really love doing this work, and I love bringing new teams in. Everything your mother told you not to do as a little boy or a little girl, you get to do.
My job is to take care of the unidentified folks and the missing people.
It's just so magical because some of our kids, they couldn't even walk, are now walking and able to sit straight up.
It's definitely a very mutual relationship when you're volunteering. You're both learning a lot and giving a lot back.
The Be the Difference Award ceremony gives us a chance to acknowledge those persons who are so kind to give of themselves, and it gives us an opportunity to celebrate the fact that we can match these good-hearted, wonderful people with programs that are satisfying to them and that are of service to the community. We at the Volunteer Center clearly have a lot of wonderful partners in the community. Thanks to all of you for supporting us. And I'd like to take a moment to thank the judges who helped make this day possible. And they are Marianne Carson of Santa Cruz County Bank. Marianne. John Stark from the Good Times Weekly. Katie Keeley from Seaside Company. Martina O'Sullivan from Dominican Hospital. Kelly Langley from the Federal Credit Union. Donna Blitzer from UCSC. Jess Brown from the Farm Bureau. And Karen Hill Michael from the Aptos Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, judges. I'd also like to thank our event and table sponsors. They are Good Times Weekly, Santa Cruz Community Television, KSCO, Dominican Hospital, Bay Federal Credit Union, Santa Cruz County Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, the Seaside Company, and the University of California, Santa Cruz. Let's give them a hand. I'd now like to ask my fellow board members on the Volunteer Center Board to please stand up. And if those of you around will take a look at where they are. There you go. Please feel free to contact them if you have any ideas, any comments that you'd like to make about this event or volunteerism throughout the county. I'd like to move on to the actual awards, and this section is the award on individuals. You know, there are a lot of volunteers that are unsung. Some of us are partially sung, maybe a few of us are totally sung, but you know, I think most of us are unsung, and it's really wonderful to be able to acknowledge these persons and the time and the talent that they give to us. I hope that each of you will take time. You'll see in the programs that are on your tables, there's information about these persons, and also this will be posted on our website if you'd like to refer anyone to that. To help recognize the honorees, it is my pleasure now to introduce Allison Violante. Allison, want to stand? Allison is a congressional aide to SAMFAR, and she's going to help me pass out the certificates to the persons who have been nominated for the awards. And now I'll ask Karen Delaney, the Executive Director of the Volunteer Center, to please come forward. She's going to read names and a short summary of what these persons are involved with. And as you come up on the stage to get your certificate, please wait up here because we're going to have a group photo. Karen?
Thank you, Susan. We'd like to start with Anita Diaz. Anita has been a faithful and dedicated Second Harvest Food Bank volunteer for 4 years. She's always friendly and ready to lend a hand with moving boxes, translating for Spanish-speaking agencies and people at the food bank, and making sure that everyone gets their needs met in a compassionate way. She assists over 70 nonprofits with their shopping every Tuesday. Her habit of service with a smile brings hope and happiness to others while she is helping feed our county's hungry. Anita, come on up. Because we have so many people to recognize today, when I call your name, as I'm reading the wonderful things about you, if you could start making your way to the podium, that would be great. Ann Heston is known as an angel of mercy for the sick in our community. She volunteers her time in the transportation program at Children's Hospice and Palliative Care Coalition. Children are alive today because she will not let them miss a medical appointment. She will not let them go without food. She will not let them miss school if she can help it. She's a quintessential volunteer, providing humanitarian aid while exemplifying the values of charity and kindness. Anne? Dr. Solana is a long-term ombudsman spending countless hours advocating for the rights and quality of life for residents who are living in long-term care facilities in Watsonville. She monitors skilled nursing and residential care facilities. She finds time to listen to the residents' concerns and works to make their lives better. Residents trust Barbara and depend on her, knowing that she will always return to see them and will always respect their right to make their own decisions. Barbara's compassionate presence gives comfort to people at a most difficult time in their lives. Second Harvest Food Bank knows Bill Higginbotham for his cheerful attitude and generous nature. He doesn't let his senior status keep him from physically demanding volunteer work, stocking shelves, weighing items, lending a hand wherever he is needed. His energy and enthusiasm for helping others is an inspiration to all his co-workers. He makes Santa Cruz County a better place for the more than 50,000 people that Second Harvest feeds each month. Bob Montague is a man whose many talents are indispensable to the Pajaro Valley Loaves and Fishes. Serving lunch 5 days a week to over 100 clients daily requires a tremendous organization and dedication. He picks up food at Second Harvest Bank a ton at a time. He solicits sponsors for their primary fundraiser, he sends out mailers, and he even fills in as director when staff is not available. He's the heart of the operation at Loaves and Fishes. Is Bob here? Well, we can assume he's helping at Loaves and Fishes. Carolyn Miller is a 1 in a million volunteer for children and families. She is the spirit leader and secretary for Mid-County Children's Center. She embodies the joy of helping others through her enthusiasm and incredible work helping the school on work days and cleanup days, being a member of the board, helping in the classrooms, and doing community outreach. Carolyn? Chantal Rose has volunteered for 14 years with the Monterey-based Search Dogs. She trains dogs and she trains volunteers. She goes out on searches for missing people. She's acted in incident command positions as a commander, and she teaches safety to children. Her dedication to search and rescue is inspiring. She not only volunteers her time, but pays to travel and go to conferences throughout the state to support the state committee that's setting guidelines for search and rescue canines. She does this out of her own pocket. She's awe-inspiring to her team. Connor Carr is an exceptional young man, showing a strong work ethic and a high level of responsibility. Connor works full-time and chooses to use his free time to accomplish his goal of cleaning up graffiti in rural Watsonville. He went above and beyond what he was asked to do by removing graffiti that had not even been reported yet. He's also taken a leadership role with teaching other youth to clean up graffiti. Graffiti vandalism is down in our county due to the enthusiastic efforts of Connor Carr. Founded the Friends of Scotts Valley Library as an affiliate of the county organization. Elizabeth spends endless hours recruiting volunteers. She's initiated a capital campaign. She prepares for major fundraisers. She attends board meetings, prepares mailings, and dozens of other tasks, large and small. Thanks to Elizabeth's leadership, Friends of the Library is more than halfway to their goal of raising $250,000 for a new, larger library that will open a year from now. It will provide children's programs, study areas, and state-of-the-art technology, all funded by the Friends of the Scotts Valley Library. Jeff Talmadge has been a board member of CASA, that's Court-Appointed Special Advocates of Santa Cruz, since 2006. He shines brightly as an inspirational problem solver, a team player, and a hard worker. The past 2 years, he's volunteered countless hours to coordinate a massive undertaking, the remodel of a 3,600 square foot building that CASA is moving into this fall. Jeff's worked with the architect, interior designer, and structural engineer. He's guided 100+ volunteers who assist on Saturdays. Jeff and his company, Talmadge Construction, donated several weekends to remodel rooms also in the Women's Crisis Support buildings. His dedication and hard work are helping to provide a more hopeful future for children in foster care. Jennifer Keeterling has volunteered every week for the Pajaro Valley Shelter Services for the past 2 years. She's committed to helping people who are homeless through her monetary donations and her volunteer work. She has said, and this is a quote, "Homelessness has soared in the past 30 years. I've been there myself, and I believe that people here are hardworking and want to be able to support themselves and their families. It brings tears to my eyes every time I think about their work. Julie Nunes has been a faithful volunteer at Second Harvest Food Bank for over 30 years. She's very concerned about families, especially children having enough healthy food to eat. She's helped with the USDA distribution and the Food for Children program for the past 14 years, in which she helps feed over 1,500 families. Her quiet dedication and spirit of service mean a great deal to the whole team at Second Harvest. Kimberly LaCrosse has always given back, with her inspiring energy and commitment to help others be successful in life. She's created a program called Be a Smart Mom that helps single moms find services that help them get ahead and take good care of their children. Kim has influenced countless young people, as well as young mothers, to believe in themselves and become successful, productive members of our community. Martell Anderson has a passion for clean oceans and volunteerism that extends beyond the regular activities offered by Save Our Shores. She used the recent occasion of a milestone birthday to fundraise for Save Our Shores instead of receiving any gifts for herself. She has led close to 20 monthly public beach cleanups and makes the hundreds of volunteers who show up she trains feel valued and understand the important work that they're doing to help keep Santa Cruz's beaches and oceans clean and healthy for all to enjoy. Mary Gibbs has volunteered for Community Bridges for the past 5 years, stepping in to do whatever is needed. She is friendly and warm in her work in the Human Resources Department, making suggestions to improve the operations and procedures, working as the receptionist, updating data, and delivering meals to the homebound, and many other projects and tasks as well. Her unending compassion, commitment, and dedication to others shines through to the betterment of all the lives she touches at Community Bridges. Molly Tierney has volunteered in support of Waldorf School's script program. She saw the need the school had and jumped right in and learned almost overnight the intricacies of shepherding this most important fundraising program. This year, thanks to her work, the script program brought in over $30,000 in essential funds to support the school. Molly has been an inspiration for other parents, showing them what can be done as a volunteer. She also inspires her own family to volunteer with her. Feather Berry is a remarkable individual who is caring, positive, thoughtful, and genuine. She is grateful to give her time and energy to help families that have children afflicted by cancer through Jacob's Heart. Her work with the Kid Rages Carnival brought in new community contacts, raised funds for families in crisis, and educated the community about Children's Cancer Awareness Month. Her passion inspires others to be passionate about the needs of children with cancer. I understand that Feather can't be here today, but there's someone from Jacob's Heart? We'll make sure Feather gets her award. Keith Slade and Monica Parker, our two other honorees, could not be here today, but we'll make sure they get their awards. And now I'd like to turn it over to Susan. I think we want to get one more group together. Right up here, back here. Yeah. As our honorees leave the stage, I'm going to reintroduce Susan Cabrera, who's going to tell us about our individual Be the Difference Award winners for 2009.
Thank you, Karen. Now we go to the two individuals who have actually won the Be the Difference Awards this year. The first, if you'll step up, is Eva Leuthold. Let me read you something about Eva. Eva has been a volunteer visitor at Hospice of Santa Cruz for over 15 years. She is a tireless advocate and spokesperson for people facing end-of-life choices. She was pivotal in the formation of the Vigiling program, in which she sits vigil at the bedside of those who are dying, often comforting them with playing her flute. Her care extends to loved ones left behind through her work in grief support volunteer services. Because she has been fully engaged in this most sacred of tasks for so many years, she has made what are often difficult moments in the lives of others bearable and filled with love. Thank you, Eva. See a brief video about Eva's work with hospice.
Simply, there's so much work to do. And it's not just that the work is being done. This working for and with another creates the very fabric of community. I think the voluntary, that what we don't have to, that gives the heart and soul to the community.
I'm the volunteer coordinator at Hospice of Santa Cruz County, and it's my great honor and pleasure to nominate Eva Leuthold as Volunteer of the Year at Hospice of Santa Cruz County. Eva is a model. As a hospice volunteer, she's a model for caring for those who are close to death. She's been doing this work both personally and professionally for over 15 years, and she's touched the lives of hundreds of people in our community.
This is my work, this is my calling. Hospice clients and staff are calling upon the best in me, and I act on it, and it's a great opportunity given for me to, yes, live life at its fullest. And I also learn for myself. I'm confronted with the big questions every time I visit someone, because so many mundane things which are no longer important fall away and make space and time to touch and speak about and mind and just be silent together over. It's in giving that we receive. And if people just would try, and this, I hope, is an invitation for others.
Every moment to be real, with visions of a light illuminate.
Eva, thank you so much. And thanks also to Hospice for the invaluable work it does in the community. Our second individual winner is Diana Stolich. Diana has been an essential member of the Women Care team for the past 4.5 years. She manages the database, helped with moving to their new offices, takes clients to medical appointments in Santa Cruz and Palo Alto, helps organize open houses, and is a willing listener and mediator when a staff member needs her. With a very small staff and a shoestring budget, last year, Women Care provided services to almost 400 women with cancer and their families. Without fuss or fanfare, Diana is the woman behind the curtain working her magic to keep Women Care going. Congratulations, Diana. And now let's see a brief video about Diana's work with Women Care.
My name is Diana Stolich. I have been in Santa Cruz this time since 1989. I retired 7 years ago after a 40-year career with the airlines. Then I set out looking for some place to volunteer. And then when I met everybody at Women Care, I felt a real tug.
Diana came to Women Care almost 5 years ago. She started at 3 hours a week, and now she works 20 hours a week at Women Care as a volunteer. She is the perfect example of the kind of impact a volunteer can have on an organization. One of the things that inspires me about Diana is that she walks into a situation, and even though it's outside of her comfort zone, she's not afraid to try it. Women Care is an organization that is there for women with cancer. So it can be a very emotionally challenging environment, certainly for our clients who have cancer, but also for our staff and volunteers. And Diana's just such a calming presence for everybody. She's always there for us. She's always listens to people, and she helps keep things smooth in an otherwise emotionally fraught time of people's lives.
It was such a great fit for me is because my mother's a breast cancer survivor, and I was there with her and became so aware of how many women don't have family or friends for the emotional and practical support they need. And I thought, this is how I can make a difference. And it's been so rewarding, really, really rewarding.
But who am I to make you feel safe?
So to help us present our next set of awards, I'd like to introduce Marianne Carson, who's the Senior Vice President of Santa Cruz County Bank, and also the person who chaired our judges panel. Marianne?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Susan. I'm very honored to be presenting our recognition to our groups this year. We had so many deserving groups nominated. As I read about the work of the honorees, will you please come forward and receive your awards from Susan and Allison, and then remain on stage for a photo. First, Sheriff Civilian Volunteers work in the Sheriff's Service centers throughout the county. They answer phone calls, they take reports, perform abandoned vehicle abatement checks. Citizen patrols do security checks at schools, businesses, and parks, and check on homes where residents have requested a vacation watch. Volunteers in the investigations unit and the records unit have even assisted in solving missing persons cases. These volunteers come from all walks of life and provide a level of service to the community that would not be possible without them. Their volunteer time is equivalent to adding 5.5 full-time employees. The Sheriff's Office is very proud and extremely grateful to their volunteers who help make Santa Cruz County a better place, safer place. The next honoree, the Daisy, is an upscale retail boutique run by a unique group of volunteers. Since 1967, the Daisy Auxiliary has donated more than $1.6 million to the Family Service Agency of the Central Coast. Daisy volunteers receive donated clothing, accessories, books, home decor from individuals and consignment shops, and sell their goods to discerning people with an eye for style. Since every item in the store is being recycled, they are helping promote a green economy as well. They are committed to supporting the FSA programs, including counseling, senior outreach, suicide prevention, and IU Venture. The Daisy Auxiliary volunteers have been demonstrating the power of service for over 40 years. The next honoree, Take Back Santa Cruz, is a group that has one goal: to make the streets of Santa Cruz safe and free from drugs, gangs, and abusive behavior. They support the Santa Cruz Police Department, emergency services, and the fire department. Volunteers can educate and empower themselves to be part of the solution through this group. This summer, Take Back Santa Cruz joined forces with Friends of Lighthouse Field and Save Our Shores to clean up, Lighthouse Field and raise awareness of the fact that it has become a haven for drug dealing, camping, and illicit activities. Thousands of Santa Cruz residents have spoken up with enthusiastic support and a willingness to help realize a vision based on community, inspiration, and action. Our next honoree, Santa Cruz Bible Church, organizes ShareFest, an event that helps schools, parks, and nonprofits throughout Santa Cruz County, held on Make a Difference Day, that is Saturday. Last year, 900 volunteers from 19 churches participated in the ShareFest, cleaning parks, painting Loudon Nelson and the Civic Center, refurbishing schools, and a myriad of other service projects. ShareFest volunteers gathered hundreds and thousands of pounds of food, pajamas, coats, as well as cash donations to organizations that serve our county. ShareFest is a huge example of the power of faith in action to transform a community, and Santa Cruz Bible Church is at the heart of that transformation. The next honoree, Twin Lakes Church. Twin Lakes Church members in Aptos demonstrated their caring for young children and families by giving a makeover to the Mid-County Children's Center. They provided funds to replace worn carpet and worked as volunteers prepping and installing the carpet. They also painted, stained, and refurbished chairs, stairs, and fences. Thanks to their efforts, children have a safe and pleasant place while their parents work. This is just one of the many charitable projects undertaken by the members of Twin Lakes Church this year. I think we want a group photo. Now on to our 2010 group winners. And I can tell you from the eyes of the committee, no matter how hard we tried, our judges could not pick just one group this year. So we have two. First, Friends of Santa Cruz Public Libraries. I'll tell you a little bit about them, but you can come up. 500 volunteers are involved in every aspect of supporting our libraries, contributing more than 15,000 hours last year. Friends help with story hours and the children's summer reading programs. They provide library materials to homebound people, and they spend hundreds of hours getting books ready for the huge book sale at the Civic. They help staff at all branches and engage in fundraising for library services. When people love an institution, they are the first to step up to defend and support it. In this area, Friends of Santa Cruz Public Library's volunteers shine. When the branch hours were decreased and book budgets cut, volunteers were the first to ask, how can we help? Through their work, commitment, and advocacy, they keep strong libraries in the center of our community. And we have a brief video about the Friends.
The Friends of the Library is a helping organization that supports our local library.
Friends of the Library has a big impact on library services in that we provide funding for books and materials. We provide volunteer services. We gave over 16,000 hours and 590 volunteers last year.
Well, I've been volunteering for a year and a half with the board, and I keep volunteering because the work is challenging, and I think it's valuable to the Friend. I've been given a very comfortable life, and you want to give back to the community that's given so much to you. I mean, that's just, to me, just a form of gratefulness, and to me, healthy people are grateful people, and so my way of showing my gratefulness is to give back to the community through the library.
I think the library needs our help a lot. As you know, library budgets have been decimated over the last number of recent years, and they can't do it all themselves. And we try to fill in where the library can't do it themselves.
We choose to use volunteers because they're absolutely essential to our program. They help with not only the library functions, but also all our fundraising functions. We would be lost without our volunteers.
I would like to thank all the people that are volunteering and have volunteered for the library through the Friends of the Library. And I can say that each of those people probably have received the same rewards that I have received as a volunteer. And that is being connected to the community, being connected with other like-minded people.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to give back to the community through volunteering, because over my career I've been given very much by the community, and the way I show my gratefulness for all that's been given to me is to give back through volunteering and being active, and again, just because it's part of being a healthy human being.
I would like to personally thank all the volunteers that have given their time and energy to supporting our libraries, especially in this tough economic times. They're very much appreciated and very much needed.
And when I start to hesitate,
Homeless Services Center Board of Directors is a group of 17 people who work diligently and effectively to serve homeless individuals and families in our county. They and their predecessors created the full-service, 30-bed River Street shelter operated by the Community Counseling Center, the Reveille Family Shelter that houses up to 28 families, the Page Smith Community House for 40 single men and women, the Paul Lee Loft for 28 men and 14 women. Plus, they provide 2 meals a day 365 days a year on the campus of the 115 Coral Street in Santa Cruz. The board of directors is made up of these dedicated volunteers who excite and energize one another so that the whole is so much more than each of its parts. Working together, they have created a comprehensive continuum of services that takes people from the streets to regaining stability. They enthusiastically carry out their mission, which is to provide emergency and transitional services to homeless individuals and families that will enable them to achieve self-sufficiency. Let's watch a brief video about the Homeless Services Center Board of Directors.
I'm proud to nominate my fellow board members on the Homeless Service Center Board for this award. I'm proud because they deserve it. I'm proud because they've worked hard and they've really earned this recognition.
Our board of directors truly has a passion for serving the homeless individuals of Santa Cruz, and although that they're volunteers, they really step in on a professional level in order to provide their expertise and their various skill sets in order to better our organization. I really don't know where we would be without our board of directors.
Every year that I've put in, I have seen improvement, I've seen wonderful results. The success rate is incredible, and the thing that is most inspirational to me, to make me keep wanting to come back, is that there are real stories of real people whose lives have been completely altered in a positive way.
For me, I'm just so proud of how this organization has gone from a simple meal program 20 years ago to becoming a really rich array of programs for people. Now we have a family shelter that we didn't have at the beginning. We have a lot more residential programs that transition people out of homelessness. So it's really great to see an organization evolve and just do more work and better work and have a greater impact.
It's really important to want to help our community, and I feel that one of the best ways to help our community is to help pull up members of our community who need it the most.
I think it's so gratifying to get involved in projects like this because you are making a difference when you do it. There's so many great community organizations, and the Homeless Services Center is one where every day volunteers are coming in and affecting people's lives in a really positive way.
I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our board of directors. Your vision and your inspiration truly has helped build the Homeless Services Center into the organization that it is. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us, and please keep up the great work.
I've been on the board for 12 years, as I mentioned. I know what it takes to raise the kind of money we raise and to do the kind of work that we do. And so I just am so grateful to them, and that makes me proud to nominate them.
Very nice work. We should give another round of applause. So this concludes the group section of this program. And now I would like to introduce Kathy Keeley, Director of Sales for the Seaside Company. She will present the final series of the awards.
Thanks, Marianne. I'm very pleased to be presenting the Business Awards this year. The Santa Cruz Seaside Company was last year's recipient, and I can't tell you how much all of our employees, how much it meant to them to be recognized for their volunteer efforts, and how much it meant to our company to be acknowledged for all the volunteer contributions that we make, cash donations, in-kind donations. It was huge to be recognized and acknowledged. Okay, here we go. As I read about the local business nominees, please come up and join us on the stage to receive your recognition. And starting with Wells Fargo Bank. Wells Fargo has a vision of commitment to supporting our community. It starts with senior leadership and carries through to the entire employee team. Team members are encouraged to identify and decide how Wells Fargo should respond to community needs by providing money management skills, helping build homes, mentoring youth, fundraising, and serving on nonprofit boards. They celebrate a week of caring during the United Way campaign with volunteer activities set up every day of the week. Awards are given to their employees for community involvement, and I like this part. And these team members are offered time off and volunteer leaves. That's pretty amazing. Wells Fargo is known as one of America's most generous companies, adding more than $100,000 in cash contributions annually in Santa Cruz County, in addition to their substantial contributions of volunteer time. Wells Fargo is a passionately involved member of our community. Okay, moving on to the second nominee, which is Triad Electric. And unfortunately, the folks from Triad Electric could not be with us today. But I encourage you to read about all their work in your program. It's amazing what they do as such a small company. And the 2010 business winner, Barry Swenson Builder. Since the earthquake of 1989, when their employees immediately jumped in to rebuild and restore. No volunteer task has been too big or too small for this gracious team, who are always quick to roll up their sleeves and get to business. Recently, they have given donations and services to a wide variety of projects, including, get ready here, it's a long list, the Homeless Garden Project, Kuumba, the Boys and Girls Club, Women Care, Live Oak Family Resources Center, Rotary, Second Harvest Food Bank, Walnut Avenue Women's Center, which is having a fundraiser Saturday at the Boardwalk, Save Our Shores, Museum of Art and History, and the American Diabetes Association. Their employees serve on numerous community volunteer boards and committees. Barry Swenson Builder has donated more than $3,000 in grants to local groups in addition to their volunteer time. Next we're going to have a brief video about Barry Swenson Builder and their volunteer activities.
I sometimes think business, they get so wrapped up in themselves and what they're doing, and I think if they don't get out in the community and understand the community, I don't know if they understand their own business. I mean, I feel that you have to understand, especially in our business, what the community's needs and wants are. I think it makes every businessman a smarter businessman if his employees are involved in the community, because the community is normally our customers.
I think the employees are definitely empowered after having been involved in projects. Often, you know, maybe one of us is timid the first time around. We say, hey, do you think it'd be okay if I left early on Tuesdays and Thursdays to coach a Little League team or something like that? And once the answer is yes, it's, hey, oh, great, okay, I'd love to do that. And, you know, that's the first step in getting involved with efforts in the community.
Our family and our business has always been wanting to give back to the community. We're so lucky to be in such a wonderful community in San Jose and Santa Cruz, and we've been involved in both communities for many, many years. Me, for myself, it's over 50 years. happiest things we were able to do is the Camp Campbell. When I was a kid, I used to love to go to the mountains, get out of the city, anywhere in the country. And fortunately, we were able to give a large donation to the new lodge at Camp Campbell.
It's been inspiring to work in the community. I think in one way, especially in that we're a construction company, a lot of times we have an opportunity to do things that people think are impossible.
Thank you so much. Wasn't that heartwarming to see all those wonderful videos and to hear about all these great stories? And you know, I'd like to thank Community Television for helping in the production of all these videos. Okay, I'd like to start concluding the event. We partner with many of you throughout the year, and we want you to remember that we are here for you. If you have any volunteer needs, or you want to explore how to use volunteers, or if you already have a cadre of volunteers and you're thinking how can we use them more efficiently, we are there for you, not just to provide you with persons, but also to advise you on any volunteer issues. We are wanting to get feedback from you at any time you have something to tell us. Our vision is that every single one of you as persons, companies, or volunteers, you know people that could benefit from being a volunteer, and we could benefit from those of you who know people that can be volunteers. So please, think of us as a referral place. You know someone who's thinking, oh gee, you know, I'm retired now, I'm not quite sure what to do, or gee, I'd like to give back to the community sometime, and I seem to be all involved in my own problems, and sometimes volunteering helps you get out of that, doesn't it? So please keep us in mind for that. We, at the Volunteer Center, we personally have 22 programs under our umbrella, and including 2 that you are well aware of. One is the Be the Difference, and the other is the Human Race, which we do the Saturday before Mother's Day every year. Our theme this year is Walk for Change. How's that? So please feel free to contact us. As I said, we look forward to partnering with you during the year. And those of you who were at our luncheon last year will remember my mentioning that we were hoping to be successful in a capital campaign so that the Volunteer Center could move from a moldy, termite-ridden trailer to a real building, a real home, and our campaign was successful. And I will tell you very proudly that as we speak, the walls are being painted on our new home. It's on 17th Avenue in Live Oak at the corner of Capitola Road. Those of you who are foodies will be able to place it as across from Farrell's Donuts. In any case, thank you so much. I would like to, before we get up to leave, I'd like to ask all those who helped make this such a wonderful event to please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. We look forward to seeing you next year.